Welcome to a slow, beginner-friendly lesson on essential ipython shortcuts for beginners, made for absolute beginners. This lesson is only the must-know ipython keyboard habits for beginners. We assume ipython is already installed. We will not install tools again. We will not start functions yet. Just how to move, complete, and recall. One lesson, one idea, then we stop. Hold this thought, the next slide builds on it gently. 4 groups only: how to quit cleanly, how tab completion works, how to refer to previous commands and outputs, and a short list of everyday editing and help keys. Master these and daily practice feels smooth. Especially remember, quitting cleanly. When that feels clear, continue, there is no rush. Fluency is not memorizing a poster of 50 shortcuts. It is 5 habits your fingers learn because you use them every session. We start with exit, then tab, then history. Sit with the image briefly, then continue when you are ready. To leave ipython, type exit parentheses or quit parentheses, that is the clean recommended exit. Ctrl-D is a quick end-of-file exit. If prompted, press it twice. While learning, prefer typing exit parentheses so the action is obvious. Especially remember, exit or quit, clean exit, recommended. Let that settle, then we take the next small step. At any end prompt, type exit parentheses and press enter. The shell ends and you return to your normal terminal. Starting again is just typing ipython once more. No shame in restarting often. Keep this line in mind: in 3, exit. Take a moment with this idea before we move on. Pause the video anytime and try the idea yourself in ipython when it fits. Tab is the most useful beginner feature in ipython. It turns blank memory into a menu of real names. You stop guessing spelling and start reading what actually exists. Sit with the image briefly, then continue when you are ready. Press tab to autocomplete variables, functions, modules, file paths, and even keyword arguments. After a dot, tab lists attributes. If many options exist, press tab twice to list them. Pro tip: after you complete a name, type a question mark for quick help. We will demo that. Especially remember, tab, complete variables, functions, modules, paths. When that feels clear, continue, there is no rush. Tab is not only for library names. Create a variable like message equals hello, then type mess and press tab. ipython can complete message. Fewer typos, less retyping, especially with long clear names you chose. Especially remember, define a name, message equals hello. Restate it once in your own words if you like, then continue. Example pattern: import math, type math dot, then press tab. ipython shows names inside the math module. You do not need to memorize every name on day 1. You learn to ask the environment what exists. Keep this line in mind: import math. Let that settle, then we take the next small step. Pause the video anytime and try the idea yourself in ipython when it fits. Type a name then a question mark to see help text. 2 question marks try to show source code when available. This works on functions, modules, and many objects. Combined with tab, you can discover and read docs without leaving the shell. Especially remember, name, show help, docstring. Take a moment with this idea before we move on. Try len question mark or print question mark. ipython opens a short help view. Close it with Q if you are in a pager. You just learned how professionals peek at documentation while coding. Keep this line in mind: len? Hold this thought, the next slide builds on it gently. Pause the video anytime and try the idea yourself in ipython when it fits. Every inline is numbered on purpose. The session remembers what you typed and what came back. That memory is how you build longer thoughts from small experiments. Sit with the image briefly, then continue when you are ready. ipython numbers every input, in 1, in 2, and so on. When a line produces a value, you also get out with the same number. You can refer back by number, or use underscore shortcuts for recent outputs. Especially remember, in 1, in 2, your inputs. Restate it once in your own words if you like, then continue. A single underscore is the last output. 2 underscores is the second last. 3 is the third last. Underscore 5 means the output from input line 5. These shortcuts save retyping and keep you in flow. Keep this line in mind: underscore hash last output. Let that settle, then we take the next small step. Controller starts reverse search through history, type to filter, very powerful. %history or %hist shows recent commands. %recall 5 brings command 5 back to edit. %rerun 5 executes command 5 again. Up and down arrows also browse history. Especially remember, Ctrl+R, reverse search history, powerful. Take a moment with this idea before we move on. Commands that start with % are ipython magics. %history is one of them. They are not normal Python you paste into every program file. They help the interactive shell. Learn a few useful ones, ignore the long catalog for now. Especially remember, %history is an ipython magic command. Hold this thought, the next slide builds on it gently. Suppose you set x to 10, then compute it x times 3. Typing %history lists those lines. You now have a paper trail of the experiment. That habit helps when a demo grows longer than 3 lines. Keep this line in mind, in 1, x equals 10. When that feels clear, continue, there is no rush. Pause the video anytime and try the idea yourself in ipython when it fits. Ctrl-R is worth practicing once until it clicks. Instead of scrolling forever, you search for a word you remember typing. The shell jumps to matching history. That skill scales for years. Sit with the image briefly, then continue when you are ready. On one long line, Ctrl-A jumps to the start, Ctrl-E to the end. Ctrl-K deletes from the cursor to the end. Ctrl-U deletes from the cursor to the start. These work in many terminal programs, not only ipython. Especially remember, Ctrl+A, start of line. Let that settle, then we take the next small step. Ctrl-C interrupts code that is taking too long. Ctrl-L clears the screen display without wiping history. Up and down arrows walk previous commands. If something hangs, interrupt first, exit only if you must. Especially remember, Ctrl+C, interrupt running code. Take a moment with this idea before we move on. Daily 5, tab to complete. Ctrl-R to search history. Underscore for the last result. Name ? For help. Exit parentheses or Ctrl-D to quit. If you only remember these, you are already productive. Especially remember, tab complete. Hold this thought, the next slide builds on it gently. Important boundary, Jupyter Notebook and Jupyter Lab use different shortcut modes. This lesson is for the ipython terminal shell. Notebook key bindings can be a later topic if you want that interface. Especially remember, Jupyter Notebook has command mode versus edit mode. When that feels clear, continue, there is no rush. With install done and shortcuts in hand, you can practice A.2 ideas live, variables, types, operators, one line at a time. That recap is the next lesson, still inside ipython. Sit with the image briefly, then continue when you are ready. Practice, start ipython. Compute something, then use underscore on the next line. Try tab after a dotted name. Run %history. Exit cleanly. 5 calm minutes beat a long anxious session. Especially remember, start ipython. Let that settle, then we take the next small step. Pause the video anytime and try the idea yourself in ipython when it fits. Tab and ? Discover. Underscore and %history connect past work. Exit parentheses when done. Next lesson, a guided recap of phase A.2, variables, types, and operators, typed live in ipython. Especially remember, tab and are your discovery tools. Take a moment with this idea before we move on. Thanks for practicing ipython shortcuts with me. See you in the A.2 recap inside ipython.